Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Help me to understand. There are many things that I don't know, and of the things that I know, there are many of those things that I don't understand. I've heard of robotic surgery, and that sounds like a nice thing, but when they explain it to me, that is where they lose me. A friend of mine underwent a big surgery, and he said they didn't have to cut him open. Rather, they made some tiny incisions and used robots to do the job. I don't understand that. I am familiar with the process of planting, but I still don't understand how you can plant a little seed in the soil, and after a while a tree emerges, and later on fruits come from that tree that came from a little seed that was planted. I don't understand that. I don't understand the intricate creation of a baby. How can two microscopic things fuse together and down the road a beautiful baby emerges? That I do not understand. There is one more thing I don't understand. I don't understand how Jesus could build a church on himself and then make a declaration that is so irrefutable that the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. I know you don't understand it either, but today let us seek to come closer in our understanding of this marvelous phenomenon. Let us start from who Jesus is. We meet him in John chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that was made. There is God. And there is God, the Word. And the world was made by God, which means the Word was God and the Word made the world. Do you understand that? Maybe, but let's go further. The Word, who is God, recognized that the world, those of us down here on planet Earth, that we were living in darkness, but it was not the absence of light as we know it. And the Word, who is God, had life that carries light. So here is what happened. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John 1 and verse 14. Stay with me, please. The Word that was God and who was with God became a human so that he could bring his life that brings light to us humans here on earth. Okay. We're going somewhere. Catch this. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. John 3:16. I think we're getting somewhere. The Word, who was God, came to earth to give us life, eternal life, so that we can be in relationship with him who is the Word and who is God. That is how we got Christmas. The Son of God, the Word, came to the world on a mission to bring life to humans. So what happened? He died. No, please don't cry. Listen to what he said. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. John 15 and verse 13. There is something different about that death. In Matthew 16, after he had talked about the building of the church, he went on to tell his disciples that he had an assignment. He was going to Jerusalem, and the authorities there were going to kill him, but 3 days later he was going to be raised back to life. Let us now turn to the building of the church. Remember, he said that he was going to build the church on the rock? Well, in 1 Peter chapter 2, we read that Jesus is that rock. And so when they killed him in Jerusalem, they rejected the rock, but he came back from the dead 3 days later. So the rock which they rejected has now become the chief cornerstone. And so now the rock is present and he is now going to start the building. Everyone who comes to Jesus, who is the rock, and accepts his gift of eternal life, you are one of the stones or the block in the church that he is building. Hold your seat. It gets better. Jesus places top premium importance on every single stone that is part of the building that he is constructing. But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light. 1 Peter 2, verse 4 to 9. Okay, so let us now get to the place where he said that the gates of hell shall not prevail against the church. When Jesus died, when the authorities in Jerusalem killed him, Satan thought he had defeated Jesus finally, except you will remember that he said that he was going to come back to life 3 days later. Well, Jesus was the one who won the war. Jesus defeated Satan when he died, and after he came back to life, he declared that he has supreme power in the universe, all power, and that includes over his enemy Satan. Oh, by the way, I should have told you that when he says the gates of hell, he was speaking specifically about Satan. So listen to this. Jesus was not wishing that the gates of hell will not prevail against the church. He said it with total and absolute certainty. The church is built on solid rock, on a firm foundation, and Jesus, who is that rock, has absolute power over Satan. Mind you, he did not say that the gates of hell will not try to destroy the church, but there is nothing, absolutely nothing that will succeed in destroying this building that is called the church. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. I just thought I would remind you of that statement from Isaiah 54 and verse 17. Do you now understand all of that? If you are a child of God, you are a part of the church that is built on the Jesus Christ, the solid rock. And you have the assurance, you have Jesus' word that there is nothing that the opposition can do to destroy the church. We don't understand how a baby could come from two microscopic items that are fused together, but we accept it as truth. After all, the baby is real. What Jesus did when he died and came back to life and continues to build a church cannot be easily understood. But I thank God that I am part of this great church. When we all get to heaven, we will understand it better then. For now, we embrace the truth. The gates of hell cannot prevail against the church that is built on Christ, the rock.